comic book fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of Cammy's Comic Corner, the Indie Comics episode, Volume 4! I'm your host, as always, Cammy. Now, like the other 3 and 4 versions of this show, I'm bringing you more kick-ass indie comics that you should know about. And if you don't already, then you will by the end of this episode. Let's get right into it, people. First up from Ronin Studios, we have The Avenger, Dead Man Rising #1. Written by Matt Spatola and art by Jason Osman. Now basically, the story behind The Avenger is, back in the Golden Age, there was this hero named The Avenger, and he was, the crime in the city was high, he would help take care of it. Him and his Justice Society kind of like friends. Well, nowadays, in the same city, crime is just abundant. There are just tons of murders every day, the cops are trying to keep a hold of it, nothing's happening. And so The Avenger, now old and retired, is watching all this from his window. His only hope is his grandson, who's a detective on the police force, and he's trying to convince his grandson, Michael, that this isn't random crime. It is all the workings of one individual, and if they work together, they can help take this guy down. Well, Michael's kind of wary. He's like, okay, Grandpa, whatever. No need to. But he kind of wakes up to this realization that maybe crime is out of control when a drive-by happens at his house at night, almost, killing him and his loved one. I personally think it was the grandfather behind this, trying to wake up Michael and say, hey, see, the city does need a hero, and if we combine our resources, and, okay, Grandpa, whatever. But while he's checking out this crime scene the next day, he is ambushed by this kind of evil villain, as it were, named the Angel of Mercy, and they tussle, and turns out she stabs him at the end, and he's left dying on the ground. So, next issue, will he be a dead man rising, like the title suggests? Who knows? It is great art in this. I really like the grittiness of the present, and then the old flashbacks of the Golden Age, and it's still kind of gritty, but it still holds its own in its way. So if you want more information on The Avenger, head on over to theavenger6.blogspot.com. The first and second issues are available at $3, and you can find out more information at theavenger6.blogspot.com. Next up from DC Conspiracy, we have Dr. Dremo's Tap House of Tall Tales and Short Stories, The Spoils of Crime. Now, this is another anthology by the great guys over at DCConspiracy.com, and it's $9 for 92 pages, but in these 92 pages, you get some kick-ass crime stories. You get 17 different ones, as a matter of fact, and they range from the classic noir to the updated crime to even, they have a science fiction tale thrown in there. And one of the things I just love about anthologies, like I've discussed before on their other book that I reviewed, the Horrors of War, is every story, all the different art, all in black and white, but it's the different tones of black and white, and it's the different tones of the art in the stories that really just make you appreciate every single story. Not every story is the same. Not all the art is the same. If you are a fan of the crime stuff like Criminal, Incognito, even Streets of Gotham or Stumptown, this is going to be the book you want to check out, because you get your money's worth on this, and yeah, I just can't get off the art. It's amazing. And you get all the crime stuff you want. So, if you want more information on where you can buy it, head on over to www.dcconspiracy.com, and they have links to the store where you can buy this one and the Horrors of War. And if you want to see what the Horrors of War is like, check out Independent Comics Episode Volume 3. I did a review on it then. And finally this week we have The Squeege #2, created by David Leto, written by Greg Wright, and art by Tom Greinberg. Now, I reviewed the first issue way back in Independent Comics Episode Volume 1. So, if I'm reviewing the second issue, you know that I'm a fan. I even have the t-shirt at home. Wait, I am at home. But anyway, we follow the Squeege a little bit more. We look at Tom's article, and it gives us a little bit more backstory on how the Squeege got his kick-ass costume to go along with his magical squeegee. Basically, after saving some kids, the whole community is thankful, the mayor's thankful, and they held a fundraiser to help get some money so he can get some new threads, because when you look like you're a homeless superhero fighting and you smell bad, you might want to invest in some high-tech threads, or costume, as it were. The real Squeege, named Jake, he remembers in this issue how he lost his wife Tina, how he kind of bit the hand that fed him, the whole, mob connections, not giving over some political information. And then they go, hey, look outside of your window there. Yeah, see your wife there? Oh, she's getting hit by a car, and she's probably dead because you didn't do what we said. And so now he's coming back to the company. He's still, remaining the Squeege, but also in his alter ego as well. But meantime, while all this is going on, Schmutz from issue 1 makes his return. He melted away into the sewers. Now he's back as this kind of creepy zombie keeper, and he has a whole army of like these underground sewer zombies, and they're attacking the city, wreaking havoc, and he wants to Squeege. He says, hey, come down and fight me like a man, and sure enough, they brawl. But this time, it looks like the Squeege might be vastly outnumbered. Will the Squeege survive? Find out in issue 3. But if you want more Squeege goodness, head on over to thesqueege.com, and from there you can head on over to the links he provides and get the issues. It's $3, well worth the money, some spectacular art, and killer story. All the stuff I crave as a comic book fan. Well, comic book fans, that does it this month for the Indie Comics episode volume 4. If you want more Cammy's Comic Corner goodness or more Indie Comics episodes, you can check them all out at www.cammyscomiccorner.com. From there, you can, read my written reviews of the weekly comics that come out. You can see my Book of the Month selections. Go chat on the forums, follow me on Twitter, and even make a donation to PayPal if you feel merry. Also, if you like any of the kick-ass t-shirts that you usually see me wearing on my weekly shows, head on over to www.deadlinegraphics.net and send Kelly an email. He does all your favorite comic book t-shirts, and there's only one name that I trust when it comes to those kind of comic book t-shirts, and that's Kelly over at deadlinegraphics.net. And if you want more independent comics and you don't know where to buy them, head on over to rsc-online.com. From there, you can check out the online store, see all the different indie and, mainstream titles as well. And they specialize in the best of both worlds of manga, US comic books, and even collectible toys imported straight from Japan. So if you want more goodness, head on over to rsc-online.com. Well, that does it this month. Check out January. I got more indie comics coming at you. And if you haven't already, go out and hug an independent comic creator this month, because we all need love. Them especially. Give them a good old, hearty, hang in there. Or, actually shell out money and buy their shit. No, really, you should. These guys are starving artists. Good night, everybody!